video. Today's video is actually sponsored by AppMex. AppMex is my choice for online gold and silver when I'm looking to add to my stack. I do believe that with all the financial insecurity in the world, financial prepping is part of prepping. And gold and silver, having gold and silver in a physical form is one of the ways that you can not only hedge against inflation, but store some of your wealth even when currencies hit a crisis. And if nothing happens, if we never reach any kind of an SHTF situation, then gold and silver can be passed on to your children and grandchildren. Please check out AppMex on the internet at www.appmex.com. Tell them Prepping with Sarge sent you. All right, welcome back to the Friday Night Prepper Pre-Party Show. Before we get started, we have a couple quick rules to go through. No racism, no sexism. Be kind to the moderators. If you have a disagreement with somebody, don't be a jerk. Articulate your point and be respectful. That being said, we have a good time here. Everybody's usually respectful. Just want to let you know what the rules are ahead of time. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you found this video helpful at all, please consider giving me a thumbs up. And lastly, don't forget to check in the description down below for some discount codes for some products that I think you'll like, products that should make your preparedness journey a little bit more affordable. Thank you so much for sharing your night with me, and let's have some fun. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Friday Night Prepper Pre-Party Show. I am very excited about tonight's guest. As you heard, tonight's video is sponsored by AppMex, your best choice, in my opinion, for silver and gold from an online dealer. Make sure you're checking out. They have deals changing all the time on their website. And as if you've been paying attention to what's going on with the trade wars, silver and gold is actually a really good hedge against everything that's been going on. In fact, it's been outperforming many other assets on the market right now. And I want to say a real quick hi to everybody that showed up early in chat. Thank you so much, everybody. Wanda, Scott, Rural 2 I see, Coffee First, thank you for helping with the moderating. Lazarus Long, Tuck by V1. And I think that's everybody. If you have questions as we go, please put them in caps, and let's go ahead and get right into this. I'd like to introduce my friend and my guest tonight, Heather from PNWBushcraft. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for inviting me on. This is my first live stream, so I'm pretty excited about being on here with you. So.
Exciting. All right. Well, we're really glad to have you. You and I met at Georgia Bushcraft. And we have some mutual friends, it turned out, right?
Yeah, quite a few, I think.
Quite a few. So, and I think you've got some really cool products that we're going to talk about tonight. But let's go ahead and start with people. For those who don't know you from my audience, tell us a little bit about yourself first, from like, what got you into like bushcraft and survival and all that kind of stuff, and then we'll get into the shop.
All right. So, well, I'm Heather. So nice to meet everybody on here. And I just got into really what I thought was just specifically the outdoor world, because my family has always been into the outdoors. And then when I met my husband in '91, he was a huge outdoor person. So that kind of just continued on with our family. And then he is a collector of old books and old skills. So he's always learning stuff. So then I got curious and started asking questions, started learning how to do things that were just more skilled than just starting a fire when I'm camping. So it was a lot of fun to learn to be in the outdoors. And then we were fortunate enough to buy 11 acres in the middle of nowhere. And so we have worked really hard to have a property where, we can garden. We're putting a greenhouse in this year. We're just really want to be ready for anything, but also have a really good time. So yeah, I'm all about getting people outdoors, having a good time. I think the outdoors is for everyone, and we really try to emphasize that. So we're very fortunate and we're in Washington State. I don't know if any of your audience is in Washington State, but I'm in Washington State, and it looks like I live in a rainforest. I don't, but it looks like it. So I'm very lucky to be where I'm at.
Yeah, one of my moderators actually, he's not here yet, but he is from up in your. Yeah, I think he's near Seattle, Bacon.
Okay. Yeah, so we're about half an hour from the Canadian border. We're upper left corner. We are like, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So did you, before you started getting into your shop and stuff, were you already like involved with like Georgia Bushcraft and stuff like that? Were you doing events, or did that come later?
That came later, and it was very fortunate for us. So we are an online company. So I was just sharing things online, on Instagram, on YouTube, and doing that kind of stuff, like sharing our products and just kind of sharing our journey as a family. We've been we built a beautiful camp. Well, we call it a roundhouse, so we can have a fire inside our building when the weather's crappy. It's beautiful. We built it with all the logs on our property, and so when I got involved with Georgia Bushcraft and the people there, it was because I got invited by Mikey from LT Wright to go to an event called Demo Days, put on by the Campfire Co-op. And so I met all these people, which changed things so drastically for us, because as a small business and an online company, we were very alone. At least it felt very alone. And now I have like this wonderful crowd of people who are so supportive that I can lean on, who I can help. And it made all the difference. So all of those people and all that involvement in the events didn't happen till like 4 years ago. So yeah, it's all pretty fresh for us. Blade Show. We did go to Blade Show earlier than that, and I met some of the people, but the first time was Demo Days at the Georgia Bushcraft spot. So yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna we'll maybe circle back and talk about what some of these things are. I think my audience has a good idea what Georgia Bushcraft is, but they probably are not fully up to speed on like Campfire Co-op and Demo Days and things like that. So you got a question already. My friend Prepper for the Ages wants to know, is your property big enough to need tractors and other farm equipment?
So we have a small tractor because we are old enough not to want to use a shovel.
Okay.
So a couple of years ago, I mean, also it allows us to clear spots. We put trails on the property. We cleared the garden area. We were doing that all by hand before, and it was just way too much work. So yeah, we have a small tractor. We don't have any large animals. When we first moved onto our property, we went a little crazy, and we had rabbits and chickens, and just everything ate them. Like stuff just ate them. I mean, no matter how well we thought we would cage them, things came in and ate them. We do have bear and mountain lions. And, we have wild animals around here. Yeah, bobcats, coyotes. So yeah.
A couple of people popping in. Thank you so much. I saw Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. Thank you for joining. And let's see, who else did I see pop in there? Cold Hearted Bastard. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. If I missed anybody, I apologize. If you're tuning in late, if you've got questions for Heather as we go, or me, throw them in caps. It just makes it easier to catch it as I'm scrolling through. All right. So what is PNW Bushcraft? Let's get into this.
So we make amazing wax canvas outdoor gear. We make things like bags, foraging pouches, ground cloths, and we make it here in our shop. This is the shop. I'm up in the shop right now. And we've been doing it for over 11 years. And we got into making outdoor gear because Todd was making gear for himself. Like all hobbies, when you can't find what you want, you make it for yourself. Yep. And so he got an old machine off of Craigslist, wired it up, and started sewing gear for himself. And that was really cool because people were really interested. And I am a mixed media artist, and I was selling on Etsy. And so I was like, babe, let me sell some of that stuff for you. And it just kind of steamrolled, and the ideas kept coming. And so do you want just like a quick little sample? Because I got some stuff.
Yeah.
So this is one of our wax canvas bags that's really popular. It's got all the outside pockets that people really like. And then one of our biggest sellers is our foraging bag, which I brought only one size up. We do have 3 sizes. Cool. And this is all wax canvas that we make here in our shop, and it snaps on and off your belt.
Is that the one that has the mesh on the bottom? Can you?
No, that's our mushroom foraging one. I didn't grab one of those. Yeah. So we have 3 sizes. This is our smallest size, which originally we were selling. This is one of our first products, but it was in leather with a canvas bag. And then the market got flooded. So, we make the wax canvas ones, and they're very popular. So that works out really well. And I do a lot of fun custom stuff. I like to be creative. So every once in a while, I'll take on a new project somebody wants and make something really cool, because making 100 of the same thing is a little boring sometimes.
Yeah. So if you guys, my audience, if you're on Instagram, make sure you're following PNW Bushcraft on Instagram, because Heather actually lets the audience vote on patterns and colors and stuff like that. It's pretty fun. So she'll put up a little post and she'll be like, okay, which one? And people vote on it. And that's been
so much fun. It's Make It Monday. And on all socials, I'm PNW Bushcraft Shop, because when Todd became PNW Bushcraft, that was like his online handle. before the business started. So when I came on, I had to have my own. So I'm on socials as PNWBushcraft Shop. But the Make It Monday is so much fun because people, first of all, there's a lot of decisions that need to be made. So even deciding what to offer people has been a lot of fun. And we've made all kinds of projects. And then sometimes like if someone reaches out to me about a custom, we'll turn that into a Make It Monday. Like, do you guys want to make this specifically for this product? And I just love having input from everybody. And I'm big on vintage fabrics. So it's a lot of fun to bring in vintage wools and vintage fabrics into all of this. So yeah, that's every Monday. Okay. It's almost every Monday.
Almost every Monday.
Almost every Monday. Because I was like, we're going to be a blade show in June. And so we're traveling that Monday. So it won't be that Monday, but I do try to do it every Monday if I'm in the shop. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the season where like everybody's at events and stuff like that. So I've noticed that like as I'm trying to communicate with different companies and stuff like that, I'm sending emails and I'm like, oh, no response. Then like 3 days later, they're like, oh, sorry, we were on the road to such and such. You know, everybody's traveling right now.
Well, and I think too, like people reach out and they'll be surprised I don't answer them. And I'll be like, I'm out of, I'm not in my shop. Like we were at CanCon in Arizona last month and it was like, I'll get back to you when I'm back in the shop on Monday. Right. Like, so yeah, it is good to be aware because like Mountain Readiness is this weekend right now. So there are a lot of people who I'd normally able to get a hold of that are there for that event. So yeah.
Yeah. The what's the advantage of waxed canvas? I know it's a natural fabric, but what else do you like about it?
So the wax canvas here in the Pacific Northwest, it's been used in the logging industry. And that's why Todd picked us to work with that fabric, because if you take care of it, it lasts. Like we have packs that are 70, 80 years old because they're made of wax canvas. If you continue to care for them, they will continue to hold up. And the wax canvas, it's not, you can't say waterproof because it starts out water resistant. And then as soon as the wax, as soon as water doesn't roll off of it anymore, you have to re-wax it, but then it'll go back to being water resistant. So it's just one of those fabrics that's not going to end up in a landfill if you take care of it. And it was really important to us not to sell something that was going to be thrown away. We thought it was really important. So people are investing in our gear, but it's stuff they can pass down to their kids. It's stuff that's going to hold up. We know it's got a history of being awesome. So
I saw this really cool video. Do you follow Such? Do you know who Such is?
No.
He does like prepping and survival videos. He's got a huge following. He was at our last Georgia Bushcraft Fall Gathering.
Oh, perhaps I met him then.
You might have. He did a video a couple of years ago about the cowboy roll, right? Like that people would have on the back of their horses back in the cowboy days, and like how that was basically a lot of times that's all they had for their bedding. And so he showed like how they would fold it, and if you did it right, I mean, it was almost waterproof, just about.
We offer one. We offer something similar to that. It's a 6.5 foot ground cloth that people have used for that kind of thing. Yeah.
What is your best seller? What's the thing that is consistently like that's going to sell?
So it's the EDC tray and the foraging pouches right now. Those are our biggest sellers. This EDC Todd came up with a few years ago when we were at one of the blade shows. There's this little tiny, it's got 3 pockets. It holds all the stuff in a guy's pocket. Girls' pants, they're not deep enough for them. And then it turns into a tray. And that seems to have been, since we brought that into the shop, it's consistently been a seller. And we've also changed the pocket depth, right? So that's what's really cool about making your own stuff. When people are like, I'd like the pocket to be a little deeper. So now we're going to this newest size. Pocket's only 1/2 inch, but it's clipping a lot better for people. So so it's exciting to be able to take input and instantly adjust
and work with it. Yeah. Can you show that tray again?
Yeah.
So think about can you like make it into the transformer tray?
Yeah. Transformers.
Yeah. So the cool thing as she's working on that, guys, is think about like whenever you're staying at a hotel or camping, right? Like in your tent, right? When I go to sleep, I'm taking off my wedding ring, I got my little flashlight, I got my pocket knife, I got my keys, right? And it's like I wake up in the morning and crap is like everywhere, because I'm thrashing around, and then I'm like, where did my flashlight go? That's what you need. That's what you need right there. Because like just put it all your stuff that goes in your pockets, you put it in there, and then it's not gonna like as you're hitting it, it's not gonna fly around as much unless you're really thrashing. So cool product. I love it.
Yeah, it's you know, it's always nice to be able to see a need and fill it, and to be able to take an idea. I feel like I got superpowers, right? Like when people write me and they're like, this is my idea, and I'm like, let me see if I can make it. Like, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And I don't have a history of sewing. In fact, I'm so crafty. I used to say the only thing I can't do is sew. Like it was a joke amongst my family that I didn't sew, and now I sew for a living. So, you know, and I'm pretty good at it nowadays. So it's nice. Yeah.
So I know prices could change with materials and stuff like that. What's that going for right now?
So this is $45 for the EDC tray.
Okay. And the foraging bags
is $49.
Okay. That's a good price. That's a good,
yeah, I was actually told quite a few times I've underpriced our stuff.
Yeah,
but I'm cool with it right now.
Yeah, that's a good price. And then one of the other things I saw some of the other members of the community were using was those little waxed canvas seating mats, right? So when the ground is damp.
Yep.
Yeah, those are pretty cool too. Now, can you do those in various sizes?
So we currently offer them in 3 different sizes. We have a junior, and then we have our regular, and then, like I said, the 6.5 foot one. I can custom make them for people. The only thing we have to take into consideration when you're sewing is the fabric is only so wide, and we get it in 50-yard rolls, right? So when I'm making products for people, we don't have a big enough shop to sew larger things like tents or giant tarps. We just don't have the space for that. So we try to keep everything within the width of the fabric.
Makes sense.
So, but the juniors, and then I line the juniors with fun fabrics or vintage wool, or, you know, I love to mix it up and add some design and colors to them. So yeah, but the PNW one we have turns into a hammock chair. You can make it into a fire carrier. I mean, it's like Todd has like 10 things it transforms into, and that one's really popular. It's one of those gems that nobody realizes how great it is until they have one, and then they're like, I use this all the time. And we're like, yeah, great. So,
I mean, just thinking about like when we're at like something like Georgia Bushcraft and whatnot, and it's a little bit damp, you know, and you're like, oh man, I left my chair all the way back at my camp, but like that's so lightweight and easy to carry around. You can strap it to the bottom of a pack or whatever, you know, and everybody, you know, there's only so much like logs and stuff like that to sit on there, and then everybody's just kind of either standing unless they've got something that's going to keep them kind of dry, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I really like the chair. That's one of my splurges. When we go places, I bring the chair. I don't really want to sit on the ground. I will if I need to, but I would rather bring a small pack chair. You know, I got one that fits up like this. We actually put them in our suitcases and bring them to Georgia because we want to have somewhere to sit down.
Yeah. As I'm getting older, it's harder and harder to do without those little luxuries, you know, when camping. Like I use a inflatable bed now. When I was younger, I slept on the ground and no problem. But now I won't be able. If I do that, I'm not going to be able to move, you know.
There's no reason to if you don't have to, right? I mean, if I were in a different situation.
Oh, she'll be back in a second, guys. I know she's using Starlink, so give her a second. So thank you, everybody. While we're waiting for her to, there we go. We get you back.
We're back. Sorry.
Okay.
Live in the middle of nowhere. What can I say?
Yeah, no worries. I told him you'd be back. So what were we talking about? The chairs and luxury items and stuff like that.
Yeah. Just you don't have to. You can go. You can splurge and be comfortable.
So it looks like some people are checking out your stuff there.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you checking out the website.
Yeah,
and I take all the pictures here on the property, and so from idea to mail, that's all us. We do it all here. So yeah, it's pretty
very cool. Thank you for everybody who's tuning in. I saw James and Andy popping in. Thank you so much for hanging with us. We have Heather from PNWBushcraft, just kind of talking about some of the gear that she's got available on her website, and we're probably going to be getting into different events and stuff like this. So for those who don't know, Georgia Bushcraft, I've talked about many times on my channel. It's they have multiple events throughout the year, but the 2 big ones are the spring gathering and the fall gathering, and the fall gathering is the bigger of those 2. So that's where I first met you, and I will be there again this fall. In fact, I'm actually one of the instructors this fall. Pretty excited about that. So yeah. So if you're in the area, if you can get there, it's actually the largest bushcraft gathering in the United States. and you will see tons of brands that you recognize there. Everybody from Wazoo Gear, LT Wright Knives. Now you'll see, Heather, so you'll see Heather there. Tons of content creators. I will be there. Last year they had Such. I missed it. She was at last year's spring, but Melissa Backwoods was at the spring one the year before. Bearded Burton's usually there. CLP Bushcraft, Nick, Black Flag Survival. Who else? I mean, just like anybody you can think of, right?
Yeah, I was like, you could keep going. It could go on forever. Andy, I see Andy's in the chat. Andy's there flying around taking pictures at Georgia Bushcraft.
Andy, thank you. I didn't realize that was our Andy from Georgia Bushcraft. Okay. Yeah, cool. Yes, who takes awesome pictures. Yes. So it's a great event. I really recommend, if you can go, if you're into this kind of stuff, if you're into bushcraft, if you're into outdoorsy stuff, if you're into wilderness survival, it's my favorite. Is that your favorite event too, or do you have a different one that's your favorite?
No, that's my favorite event to go to, because it's like going and hanging out with your best friends around a really cool campfire, where you get to see not old people, but old friends. You get to meet
some of them are old.
Yeah, you get new skills, right? Like, it's so warm and welcoming. Not being from the area at all, the first year that we flew into Georgia Bushcraft, it was just like, I don't know. I get excited. I'm a hugger. And at the last Georgia Bushcraft, people were rating my hugs. It was hilarious because I get so excited to see people. And if anybody, and I think one of my favorite things is it's family friendly.
It is.
So like, people bring their kids. I teach a couple of kids classes besides having our booth, but like, everyone's kind of keeping an eye out on everyone, and it's just safe and inviting, which is, it's not something you find everywhere. So I really, and then when I go other places and it's not the same, I'm sad. I'm like,
and
this is not like Georgia Bushcraft. Darn it.
No, and it's amazing that for such a large crowd, it does feel family. It feels like family, It's not a party atmosphere. So if you're looking for that, this is probably not that. There's live music at nighttime. There's contests, there's raffles, there's giveaways. You're going to see people that are well known in the community. You're going to see people that were on the show Alone and people that were on Naked and Afraid. It's really cool because you can just go up and everybody's really cool. You start talking to them. People that have millions of followers, you can just go up and start a conversation. And hey, I saw you on season 5 of Alone. You were awesome. That's how I met Carly too. Was at Carly Fairchild was at Georgia Bushcraft. Carly. Yeah, Carly's awesome. She's a good
hugger too.
and she's been on my live stream a couple times. Yeah.
That's great. She's so knowledgeable, but she's just so chill. She's got the best vibe, right? Like, you just hang out with Carly and you just feel good. You're like, I feel good.
So I've got bad ADHD. Like, just talking to her, my ADHD calms down. She's just so chill, Yeah. What about Blade Show? You guys are going to Blade Show this year, right? You and Todd?
Yeah. So we do both. We do 2 Blade Shows a year. We do Utah because it's kind of on our side of the the country, which is great. And then last year our daughter graduated from college, so we didn't get to Blade Show Atlanta, but this year we are. And there are going to be a ton of people I didn't get to see in March. So I'm so excited to see everybody. I love seeing everybody in person. And we got a really good table. Like, our spot compared to previous years, like, we'll see how it goes, but it's right next to the booths. It's like you walk in the door and you go up the aisle and there we are. Like, I don't know what a difference it's going to make, because usually we bring a pretty good crowd to wherever we are. So I hope, I don't know. Yeah, but it's fun. It's fun to go in Atlanta. Our friend Maria, who we met at Georgia Bushcraft, usually takes us under her wing, and like, she takes us on tours. She brings us fresh food. Yeah. And I haven't seen her in like a year, so I'm pretty excited we get to see her too. But yeah, lots of people we get to see. So it'll be fun.
Do you know who else you're going to be near? Did they tell you that yet?
So like, I looked up a bunch of people, and surprisingly, I couldn't find a lot of them online, which was weird. And I found a couple, but I really, so I think I have like a knife maker next to me, and then maybe like a handle maker, someone who makes the handles. So I'll make new friends.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, for sure. And I'm not going to be there this year, and the Atlanta one, I'm bummed out because it's fairly close for me. And I went last year, and I had such a blade show, was so fun too. It just conflicts with a family thing that I got going this year. So that's
right.
otherwise,
Family first. That's how it works.
But for those who are thinking about, if you like knives, get to a blade show at some point in your life. It's like, it's a knife lover's heaven. And you can, you're going to see just about every famous knife maker is going to be there. Not everybody, because some are from different parts of the world or whatever, but just about every famous knife maker is going to be there. You can literally hold up. I know there was times where I was like, hey, can I see that knife? And I'm holding it and I'm like, wow, this is beautiful. How much is it? Oh, that's $3,000. Well, here you go. I don't want to drop it, because it's a fantastic experience. And are you staying at the hotel, or are you staying at the one across the street?
Oh no, I get the hotel. So after doing a few events, I realized that I can't walk in that heat in June. Like, I'm from Washington. Like, we'd show up drenched in sweat. It was very unpleasant. And now that I have friends there, we do tend to end up in the pit. So it's much better just to be close to my room.
In the pit, for those who are wondering, after hours, there's like a lot of people are just kind of hanging out. People are doing the bally song flipping, and there's trading out there and whatnot. It's pretty fun. And again, if I could be there, I wish I could this year. But I stayed at the hotel across the street, which was also loaded with blade show people. And they had, like, I don't know if the hotel you're at does continental breakfast, but this one did. So everybody kind of was eating breakfast together. I sat down and I was talking to some nice couple from Italy, and it turned out he was one of the vendors there, and I, just kind of chatting them up. I'm like, all right, I'll swing by your booth. Oh, these gorgeous, like, custom, one of a kind, not like for production. These were one of a kind knives. Absolutely beautiful stuff. So yeah, I'm jealous that you're getting to go.
It's going to be fun. And somebody had commented that they're working on the bridge from the hotel over the freeway. It's going to be closed for that blade show. Like, it might not be open. So for people to take that into consideration. The walkway, maybe? Is it like a overpass or something?
It goes over the highway. That was how you get there. So I wonder if they're gonna do like shuttles or something. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I just saw somebody mention it, and I was like, well, I'm in the hotel this year, so really we just Uber from the airport, and then we just don't ever leave. We Uber back to the airport. I mean, it's but it's a lot of fun, and the people come from all over the world, which surprises me.
Yeah. Mike says, sorry, I touched your artwork, Mr. Knife Man. Yeah. No, my fear was, like, if I accidentally drop this thing, I don't have $3,000 for this knife, Oh,
it's a crazy environment, but it's fun, right? Like, it was not what I thought it was going to be, because I'm not from the knife world. We did cater our products because we make knife rolls, but we did cater them to that particular audience. But then I did make a knife at LT Wright's classes. So Todd and I flew to LT Wright place, and Mikey took us in, and we built a knife over the weekend. And I learned, first of all, it's really hard. They make it look easy, right? So like, I had a new appreciation. So I tried to bring my one knife so I could show off at blade show, be like, oh yeah, I made that knife. But it's so much work that goes into it, and people make things look so easy, but it's a lot of skill and steps. And so it was really, and now I feel like I've learned enough now that I can talk to knife people about knives. I don't ever want to not know what I'm talking about. So I have a base education, but I made a knife from beginning to end. So I feel really good about that. That class was a lot of fun too.
Yeah, that does sound cool. I need to get out there.
Oh, you should. So much fun.
And so you make knife rolls so people can put their collection of their pocket knives in there. And you also make knife slips, right? Uh-oh, I lost her again. Well, while we're waiting for her, let me get you got you back? Okay. So you make knife slips too, right? Oh no.
Pocket knife slips have been really popular because people don't want their pocket knives to bang up. Okay, good. I was like, I don't know if I'm still here or not.
You're in and out. You're in and out. Kanzi wanted to know what kind of metal you used on your knife that you made. Do you remember?
01 steel.
01 steel. Okay, yeah. So Kanzi, she does. Kanzi's just tuning in. She does like waxed canvas products, like foraging bags and seed mats and stuff like that. Yep. All right, let me see if I missed any questions here. Let me scroll back up. You guys, we're going to probably go for a couple more minutes here. So if you have questions, now's the time.
I did write down a story I wanted to tell you guys.
Let's hear it.
Are ready. It's not a funny story. It's just an interesting story. So the first time that I was on the Georgia Bushcraft grounds, I met Joe Flowers. I don't know if your audience is familiar with Joe Flowers, right? But he's so enthusiastic. And he designs knives, and he takes people on tours to places, right? And he comes up to me, and he's got this vest on, and it's got the arms ripped off, and he says, "Do you think you could make this for me in canvas?" And I was like, and he's talking to me, and I'm like, you know what? Challenge accepted, Joe. I will try. I don't know how to sew a vest. I was like, I will try to make one for you. And I did. It turned out great. I've never seen another one. But what was really cool is he took it to the Amazon. Like, Joe,
that's awesome.
Pictures. He's hanging out with the Matisse tribe in the Amazon wearing his vest. Like, I never would have pictured our gear, and since then our gear's been taken there a few times, and some of it's been left behind. They got some ground cloths somewhere in the Amazon jungle that got left there for the tribe. And yeah, I just felt you think of things that might happen in your world, and that was never on the list. So that was pretty cool. That was really cool.
I have a guest coming on. I'm not going to say the name yet, later this summer, who's going on an expedition into the Amazon this summer, and I'm going to get them like right after they come back. So
nice. Yeah. I would not go there myself. I don't like bugs. The spiders are too big.
Oh, you mean like the spiders like this, and the panthers and the anacondas.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't sound like my kind of fun, but I think it's really cool that people go. Like,
it definitely is. So Dustin from Wazoo told me, I don't know if he was pulling my leg, but he said he drank some of the water from the Amazon River, and I was like, really? I was like, aren't you afraid? And he's like, he told me, he said wherever he goes, he drinks a little bit of water from that area. So he's probably built up a lot of gut bacteria that can handle. You or I, that would probably kill.
Such a waste.
But he supposedly drank some water from the Amazon River, which that in itself is quite a feat.
Wow, he's pretty brave though. I mean, Dustin's an adventurer. He goes everywhere. He really is a really cool guy. So I could totally see him. I don't think he was pulling your leg. I think he probably
was telling the truth. Yeah. Do you deliver to Canada? Kanzi wants to.
I ship to Canada, but I don't drive there.
You're not going to bring it up?
No.
Okay. I'm getting off track here. I did have a couple other questions for you.
Okay.
So, all right, let's talk about Campfire Co-op for a second. So Campfire Co-op, for those, I haven't talked about that a lot on this channel. So Campfire Co-op, for those who don't know, which is now people can go to the website and sign up. It is a group of brands and content creators who are basically it's a place for us to communicate, right, and like share ideas and talk about different products, talk about our experiences online, talk about different events that are coming up. So I don't know if I've got that website handy. Is it campfirecoop.com?
It is campfirecoop.com. And I was going to say, it's a group of, it's based around people in the outdoor industry, but it's not just brands and influencers, it's instructors, it's writers. Like it's just this great group of people in the outdoor industry that are looking to collaborate, support, mentor. It's just fabulous. It's just people supporting people, and it's what we all need. I've been on the board for a couple of years now, and we're trying to make it just a space where people can learn, grow, and get the support they need, or mentor people, right? So like people that are just starting out and learning new stuff, this is a great spot to go pick the brains of people who have been there at the beginning, who have done that, who have tripped and gotten back up. You know what I mean? So it's just a really great space for people to be a part of. So it's done a lot for us as a business.
And I think membership, I just paid mine a couple months ago.
$100 for a year.
$100 a year.
Yeah.
And I will say, for me, it's well worth it. Like I've gotten that back so much more just from the friendships and everything else that I've developed in there. So yeah, so I'll put it up there, campfirecoop.com if you guys want to check that out. And you could probably, you could go to the website and kind of browse it a little bit and decide like, is this something I want to invest in or not? But I will tell you, Heather's part of that. I'm part of that. A lot of brands that you would know are are part of that. A lot of the influencers and content creators that you would probably watching are part of that, and so it's a really nice experience. I learned a ton. I just did a class for the
We
co-op.
appreciate it.
Basically, I was talking about what it's like as a content creator and an influencer, like from our side of the table, when we're trying to talk about products and make sure that we can get those available, and what might appeal to the audience, and what that whole experience is like. So yeah, something else for you guys to check out. But the big thing, what you're here for, is Heather's website, which I've put in rolling down below on the bottom of your screen there. You should see PNWBushcraft.com, and it's also, there's a link in the description. What should they know if they're going to go on there and browse? Like, what kind of shipping time are they looking for? I assume.
Oh my gosh, we ship so fast. Okay.
Yeah.
No, sorry, except not on Saturday and Sunday. I don't ship on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
I don't like to wait for packages. So almost everything on the website is made. We just have a couple made to order items. But yeah, if you order it on the weekend, we ship it on Monday. Monday we ship on Tuesday, unless I'm out of town.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, so we're fast, super fast.
Yeah, and Bacon just popped in. Bacon, she's in your neck of the woods up there in the Great Northwest.
Mount Baker Foothills is where I'm at.
Yeah, they've been giving me a lot of comments about my Hawaiian shirt, my tropical shirt.
It's feeling very, very summerish. I like it.
Yeah, so I wore this to work today, which I'm actually, I dress very, very conservatively at work. It's usually like blue, like just straight blue. I very seldom wear patterns or whatever. And as soon as I walked in the door, the receptionist said, "Oh, that's a bright shirt for you, Tom." And I was like, "Yeah, I was trying to be a little sassy. It's Friday, you know."
Sassy. I'm wearing my, hold on. I'll back up. My gnomes and knives t-shirt.
Yes. Yeah.
We didn't even talk about the gnomes, but that's okay.
No. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to have you back to talk about the dioramas and stuff like that at some point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's pretty cool too. I love when you brought one of them to the fall gathering, and it was just really cool. So just
It's
short
a lot of
version.
fun for me.
So because I know we're teasing people now. She does these like little miniature dioramas. Is that what it's called?
I don't know. I just make little tiny camps in the woods.
Yeah, and they're little mini camps with gnomes and stuff, and they're, she's got tents and campfires and stuff like that. It's really cool.
Thank you. I'm trying to read the comments.
Is there a connection like with gnomes? Was that something you've always liked, or?
No. Todd made me some gnomes for Christmas one year as ornaments, and I painted them, and I was like, "Oh, these are really cute." And then I was like, I wonder if I could make it like a bushcraft gnome. Just because, when an idea comes, you just work with it. And then I just started making more gnomes, and then people were inspiring me to make different gnomes, and it just sort of steamrolled. Really, it just steamrolled. My newest gnome is
becoming an unofficial mascot in a way.
Yeah, well, no, the Death Bunny is our unofficial mascot.
Oh, the Death Bunny.
People love the Death Bunny. So yeah, the gnomes are just fun for me when I get the urge to draw.
Awesome. And
yeah, Tactical Ted. Okay, yeah, Tactical Ted's the newest one.
Gotcha. And Bacon wants to know what your opinion on Seattle's best. I assume he means Starbucks.
Seattle's best coffee. I assume. I like Seattle's best coffee. I'm not a big Starbucks fan. It's a little too bitter for me. Yeah. In our neck of the woods, we have something called Woods Coffee. I really like that if I go out. Yeah, so love my gnome.
I wish they're way in the other room. I can't get them right now. So Mrs. Sarge and I, somebody for Christmas bought us this gift of, it's an online coffee tasting. And I'll talk about it for those in my audience. I'll talk about it in a future stream. This was such a fun experience. It probably is like one of those companies that got started with after the pandemic, because people were doing a lot of stuff online, and they ship you, I think it was three different coffees from around the world. Mm-hmm. And, and so they tell you like, okay, prepare this before the online event. And then it's like kind of like a wine tasting. They like, this is what you should taste on the front. Yeah. This is what you should be tasting on the back end of it, and that kind of. And we learned a lot about the business and that kind of thing. And they're like little thimbles of coffee like this, but it hit like a triple espresso. So after the class, I'm like, and I drink a lot of caffeine and coffee, right? Like I'm a confessed caffeine addict. I've got a problem. And after the class, I'm like, for the first time in like 2 decades, I've got like a coffee buzz. because the tolerance is so high, right? And I'm like, I feel good. And Mrs. Sarge is like, what? And I'm like, don't you feel that? Like, I've got a coffee buzz for the first time in like 2 decades. Don't you feel that? And she's like, I feel fine. But I'm watching her and she's like zipping around the kitchen doing cleaning and stuff. And I'm like, you're got a coffee buzz too.
I can't think of the last time I had a coffee buzz. Yeah, not happening for me.
One was, yeah, so my tolerance is really high. Like, and then so for a second I was like, oh, we should get some more of these coffees. And she's like, yeah, that's a good idea to crank up our tolerance even higher. I was like, yeah, all right. So we've got a couple because it comes with a little bit extra when you do the class. And it was like Costa Rica, India. One was from India and one was from somewhere in Africa. And so like we have enough for like three servings of each get a cup, and we're saving those for like a rainy day when we're like, oh, we got to get some work done around the house, and we're just gonna like power up on that.
And I see a little mention of an IPA over here to the right. Yes, I'm an IPA drinker. There's probably like 20 breweries in Bellingham. If I'm gonna have a beer, it's definitely an IPA.
Nice. Let me see if I missed anything here before we wind this one down. I don't think we did. If I missed your question or comment, I'm so sorry. For the first time. See, I told you they roast me sometimes.
Good, they're paying attention. Yeah, also, if anybody is curious, I do a podcast usually once a week too, with Nick from Recoil Off-Grid Editor and Black Flag Survival and Tom from Knives by Nuge. We have a lot more curse words in our podcast, but we're fun.
So that is Raise the Flag podcast.
Yeah, Raise the Flag podcast. Yeah.
And you guys have seen, I've done some shorts with both of those guys, I did a few from George Bushcraft and a couple from Blade Show. And I've reviewed a few of Thomas Nuge's knives on here as well. So yeah,
sweet. So you guys, that's very nice of you. Thank you for being supportive.
Hey, I love knives, right? If I get an opportunity to review a knife, I'm going to take it. In fact, I've got one. I can't reach it. I've got one right over there from Brian from Woods Monkey sent me that.
Really? Brian's always coming out with cool stuff. Brian's so much fun. I love seeing Brian.
It's the Kerf Carver. So for those of you in my audience, I posted a picture on my community page a couple weeks ago of like, hey, Brian from Woods Monkey's got some Kerf Carvers up. That's what I've got that I got to do a review for you guys.
Fun. So, yeah. Somebody also asked, I do have a YouTube. It's PNWBushcraft Shop. That's all my online handles. So,
yep.
I know I just sell wax canvas gear, just the wax canvas stuff. Yeah. I have lots of cool things in my pictures because I collect vintage antiques. Todd and I do, but we just sell the wax canvas stuff that we make. Yeah, and fire cards, but I haven't added those to the site yet.
Oh, cool. Are those yours or are those the ones from Wazoo?
Wazoo made them for us. They got the death bunny on them. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. So there was some chatter about possibly making collectibles with that, right? So that'd be cool.
That'll be interesting.
That'd be cool if that happens. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions from the audience? And is there anything else you think that they should know about? Oh, yeah. Woods Monkey's got the half shetties back too. Yep. I saw that, Andy. So those are really cool. If you guys haven't seen those, it's a machete, but it's like half the size. So it's a little bit more easy to pack and that kind of thing, but just as functional. Have you seen the half shetties?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I have one in the shop.
Oh, you do? Okay. Good.
I do some work with some people, so.
Bacon wants to know, what's your favorite fast casual dining place? Fast casual.
Oh, I don't have a favorite. I live in the middle of nowhere. We cook. Okay.
There's nowhere to eat there.
I mean, I'm 40 minutes from town. So yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. There is a place called the North Fork Brewery that's only half an hour away, and they have amazing pizza, and they brew their own beer, and they brew their own root beer, which is absolutely amazing. Oh, it's nice. On the way to Mount Baker. Yeah.
See, you guys have mountains and foothills and cool stuff like that. I'm in flatland. They literally call Charleston and this whole area, like from Charleston, from Myrtle Beach to Savannah, and I'm like right in the middle of that. is the low country, because we're literally at sea level. So there's no hills for us. Sorry. The bucket bags do look awesome. Cool. All right. Anything else you can think of, or we're gonna put a bow on this one?
Oh, I just.
Uh-oh. Did I get you back?
You did, but it froze on the funniest face. I guess. Thank you for being patient, you guys. Yeah, appreciate that.
Oh, no worries. This happens all the time. It's usually mine that's doing it.
Oh, okay.
So don't feel
Well,
bad.
we'll just blame it on you then. It was you that froze, not me.
Probably. All right, let me go ahead and put a bow on this one then. I want to say, first of all, thank you everybody in the audience for the great questions. And please make sure you're checking out her website and on Instagram and her YouTube channel, and also Raise the Flag podcast. All good stuff. You guys want to make sure you're following that. And if you're going to follow Raise the Flag podcast, you might as well follow Knives by Nuge and Black Flag Survival as well. So, and Heather, I want to say thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with us and showing us all your cool products. I will not see you at Blade Show, but I will definitely catch up with you in the fall at Georgia Bushcraft Fall Gathering. So yeah, anybody who's going to be there, make sure you swing by her booth and take my class, which I will be talking about at another date.
Thank you very much for having me on. It's been a lot of fun to chat with your audience. I appreciate it.
Yeah, they're a good group of people. I'm very blessed. I've got a great audience. So for everybody, have a great weekend. Enjoy your time with your family. Get some rest if you can. And if it's good weather, get outside. This is keep planting your seeds, keep stacking your silver. This is Prepping with Sarge and Heather from PNWBushcraft. And Heather, you can hang on for just 1 second, okay?
Yeah.
All right, bye, everybody.